Hello all and welcome here today to Witch Ways. I'm Colette and I'm here to talk to you about magic and witchcraft for your home. Specifically what to do when you're moving into a new house and how to set up a magical container, connect to the space, and how to have safety and protection and all the things that you need to know in order to have a great container for your magical witchy practice. I'd love to hear questions that you have on this topic in the comments below. And I want to add that even though I'm talking in this video about what to do as if you were moving in for the first time into a new house, you can do these practices at any point. Enjoy! This is a topic that doesn't get covered often enough, in my opinion. After all, your home is the place where you do the majority of your magic, and you want it to be conducive and safe for that practice. I feel like home magic is one of the ways that you really build your skills as a magical practitioner and take it from theory into reality. It's one of the ways that I personally learned to start to connect to land spirits and to do very active protection magic. Let's start with moving into a new place. I'm going to give you a list of all the possible things that you can do when you're moving into a new place to make it work magically for you. And just do the things that resonate for you and feel doable, because we all have different kinds of homes and lifestyles and abilities. And I want to say that ideally it starts before you move into your new home. I like to do these things before I move any of my stuff into the house, because I don't know what energy is there when I'm moving in. So the first thing you want to do is a very thorough clearing and cleaning. And this doesn't have to take a long time. I like a triple approach. I like burning herbs, steaming with herbs, and doing a wash for the walls and windows in the form of a spritzer. I like to start by sweeping the entire house. I like to then start burning herbs. I like rosemary because it's always good for both protection and clearing, and it's perfect for anything except the most toughest magic. And if you can get blue vervain, that is also really good for the really stubborn energy that maybe doesn't want to move, or maybe is just beyond your ability to sense in the house. There are lots of protective herbs out there, and I suggest you choose ones that resonate with you, or ones you are familiar with or have access to. If you buy herbs, you'll probably have to burn them on a charcoal piece in a fire-safe container, because they'll be either cut and sifted or chopped very small. As you burn the herbs, open the doors and windows in the house, or at least one. You might want to temporarily cover your smoke detector with a little cloth and some painter's tape, but it's usually fine if you just open the doors and windows. Make sure you go into every room. Some people like to start in the center of the house and move out, or the back of the house, moving out towards the front or towards the open door. Some people like to start at the bottom and move up through the house as they go. It really is up to you and what feels right for the style of your house. If you are just renting a room in a house, you can just clear that room if other people are uncomfortable with you burning herbs in the rest of the house. Maybe have an air filter on if you have one. You'll just need to maintain and clear a little more frequently in the future if you can't clear the entire house at one time. Once I'm done with the quick transformation of fire, I like to work with water, and so I put a steam pot on the stove, and I just keep it going on very low heat while I continue clearing and protecting the house, and ideally while I'm moving things in. So what steam pots do is they infuse the whole house, both with clearing energy and also they radiate qualities of the herbs that you might want in your new house, and they get into every crack and crevice and cranny in the house, and that energy pushes out anything that is not needed or not desired in your new home. To make a steam pot, just take a handful of herbs, place it in a large pot of water, and then put it on very low heat, not even simmering, just steaming on warm. You might have to initially turn it up a little bit just to get it cooking, but then turn it down really low and keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't boil out or steam out of water. You can use any herbs that call to you that you like, you are familiar with. A couple of blends that I like are cinnamon, rosemary, and any evergreen in the winter. For later in the year, I really like rosemary, lavender, and pine. Both these blends contain properties of blessings, clearings, and protection. Next, I spritz all the rooms using tea of some protective and clearing herbs that I have made, and then I strain it through a cloth filter so that it doesn't clog up the spritzer. You can also use dark moon water, which is really good for banishing. I made a video on how to make a banishing spray, and I like to pre-make this before I move in so that it's ready as I'm moving in and I can just go around and use it. Use herbs like rosemary, hyssop, rue, agrimony, blue vervain. These are all clearing and protective. And then when I'm spritzing this first time, I spritz very thoroughly, aiming it not directly on the walls, but in the direction of all the walls, the ceiling, the floor, and the windows in order to provide a protective and strong filter that moves into the structure of the house itself. If you're doing any cleaning with water before you move in, you can actually just add this tea to your cleaning water as you clean up. Once you've done your triple clearing, I would quickly put up a pre-made protective charm in the center of your house or at the 2 doors. And this might be all you ever put up. This can be a small bag of herbs that are protective and clearing. It can be a bundle of herbs that you tie with a red ribbon and hang if you grow herbs yourself. And then once that protection is up, you can start moving things in. So I think that if you have everything pre-made and ready, this whole process would probably take a half an hour, 40 minutes tops. Once you have your things moved in, you can place more charms and protection bundles around the house. People like to put them near windows, near the doors, in the corners of the house, in various rooms. You can even bury them at the corners of the house if this is an option for you. I would suggest you just do the things that resonate for you. It's better to do one thing thoroughly. I would continue to do clearings and steams over time as you live in the house. How often depends on what you do in the house, what's happening, how many people you live with. Some people just do them once a month. Other people do them more often. At this point, if you have any spirits you've been working with for a long time, I would set up an altar for them. And this can be a simple altar to start with, just something to let them know that they are welcome. It could be just a glass of wine or a vase of flowers with a candle. And then once you've set that up, cast a circle, speak their names, and invite them to join you in this new space if they wish. Then light a candle and let it burn all the way out. Now you're ready to start working magically with your house. And I like to start by making offerings to the land around you. You'll have to get creative with this if you're living in an apartment complex or where people are right on top of you. And there are a lot of different ways to make offerings and a lot of different things to offer depending on the culture you're from. Sometimes I go through periods where I am making offerings once a day near sunrise or sunset. Other times I do it according to moon phase, like on the new moon or the full moon or both. Sometimes I go through periods where I make offerings to the land anytime I do a significant piece of magic. Over time, if you choose, you can start to notice and connect with magical spots around you. This is a slow process. It's a little more advanced. If you're not advanced, it'll help you become more advanced. That's why it's a slow process. Look on a map to find out some significant spots around you that are features of the landscape. And as you have time, slowly start to visit these places and get a sense of what they feel like. Just try and get a sense of welcoming, neutral, or repulsing. And this is a practice that it's good to have some kind of backup divination system for, like a pendulum to confirm yes or no on those hits you have on the place. You also might pull oracle cards, leave offerings if it feels right to you, and continue to visit these places for a while and see what develops. If you have a fireplace, you will want to do some special magic around your first fire, or at least do a little hearth magic if you don't have a fireplace. The hearth was very important magically to the ancestors of many different lands and cultures. In some places, they would take an ember from the old fire with them to relight the new fire at the new hearth. A modern way of doing this might be, before you move from your old place, to light a candle in either your kitchen or your old fireplace. Ask the flame and spirit of hearth and home to journey with you to your new home. Then snuff the candle, don't blow it out. Then relight it in your new kitchen if you don't have a fireplace, or clear your fireplace and light your first fire in your new hearth. This can be just a few twigs if it's summer out and it's hot. You can add a wish around hopes for your home at this time. If you work with deities, you might want to research deities that are associated with hearth and home. If you feel a resonance with any of them, or you have a relationship that's pre-existing with one of them, you might want to set up an altar and ask them to bless and protect your new home. Just light a candle, make that wish, or ask them, and then let the candle burn all the way out. This can be another place where you place offerings for your home on that altar to that home deity. Another way to do this is to also take water, maybe full moon water, and with your finger right above the doorways or the windows inside or outside, the name of the deity that you are asking to bless and protect your home, and then find a place in your home to make offerings to them. When it is time to move from your house, let the land and spirits around you know that you are moving well in advance. Be sure to leave plenty of offerings during this transitional period. Also, let the spirits of the land around you, those special sites that you visited, if you're working with them, know that you are moving and thank them for the work. Invite any of the spirits or deities that you have worked with or come to know while you're in the house to join you in your new home if you wish and if they wish. And then once you're all packed up and everything is mostly out of the house, do a very thorough magical clearing of the house. If you can, do a triple clearing. Take down any protective charms or magical bundles that protect the house as the very last thing you do, and then do a final walkthrough offering a blessing to the house itself for sheltering and protecting you. I'd love to know if you have any special traditions or rituals that you do around moving. Put them in the comment below. I feel like there's a lot of collective information out there and we can all learn from each other. I'd appreciate it greatly if you check out my website for classes and programs, and also check out my Patreon page. Subscriptions start for $5 a month. There's a lot of great content there, and it really helps me continue to do these videos on YouTube. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Stay safe and be